Operation Epic Fury.
Tonight, the clock is ticking for Tehran, and President Donald Trump's making it clear. Make the deal or face consequences unlike anything the regime wants to imagine. Vice President JD Vance is reportedly preparing for another long-haul mission to Pakistan for possible peace talks, but Iran's already playing games, hinting it may not even show up. And here's the part the fake news keeps trying to bury. It's not about rhetoric, it's about stopping a nuclear-armed terror regime before it can threaten America, our allies, and global stability. The question now is very simple. Will Iran choose a deal, or will they choose disaster? Now, this matters because weak leadership gets people killed. And President Trump is proving once again that American strength is the best path to peace. UN inspectors now believe Iran has roughly 970 pounds of uranium enrichment to 60%. Experts say that if it's pushed just a little further, that stockpile could be enough for 10 to 11 nuclear bombs. Think about that for a moment. A regime that's lied for over 20 years about its nuclear program is now standing at the edge of breakout capacity. If Iran crosses that line, the danger does not stay in the Middle East. It hits energy prices, shipping lanes, military readiness, and the safety of U.S. troops and American citizens abroad. It also tells every enemy of the United States that deception works. That's why Trump is drawing a big, bright red line right now with the full backing of American power. This is peace through strength, not endless begging, not empty press releases, and not the pathetic weakness we saw during the previous administration. And while the Trump administration is confronting foreign threats overseas, it's also locking down the resources America needs to stay strong right here at home. This breaking news just out of the White House: they announced over $30 billion to secure America's critical mineral supply chains and named a specific Alaskan project as a key strategic asset for U.S. mineral independence. Now, I've been to the Bisla copper drilling site myself. I've seen it with my own eyes, the Canadian one. But what's happening right now in Alaska is actually bigger than most people realize. You see, President Trump just unveiled Project Vault, a $12 billion strategic minerals reserve designed to stockpile essential resources and keep America secure, supplied, and dominant. Bisla copper is drawing serious attention as this push accelerates. So if you want to understand why this matters, check the exclusive briefing. It's only for Next News viewers. It's linked below. See, Bisla copper trades in the U.S. under VCUFF and in Canada as VCU.V. Smart investors are paying attention before the crowd catches on. We thank them for supporting this program. Now let's get back to the showdown with Iran, where the art of the deal is being backed by the full weight of American resolve. Now see, here's the twist the media thought it could downplay. Islamabad is clearing hotels in its red zone ahead of a possible second round of talks, and JD Vance is expected to head there, even though Iran's foreign ministry still claims there are no plans finalized. So think about that. Trump is moving the pieces, Vance is ready to land, and Tehran is still trying to bluff. But this White House is not run by amateurs. It's run by deal makers who know exactly when to offer a handshake and when to show the hammer. Last chance. Iranians still haven't agreed to attend peace talks with the U.S. The president on Fox and Friends this morning. Listen.
The deal isn't done, the deal that we made, then I'm going to take out their bridges and their power plants. He went on to say, if they don't sign this thing, the whole country is going to get blown up. Now, Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson today held a press conference saying the Iranians have not yet agreed to talks on Tuesday and that they are currently reviewing U.S. proposals. Guys?
So there's a chance, Trey, that we have a vice president going 18 hours to Pakistan to meet with an empty room.
Yes. At this point, the Iranians say they've not yet agreed to attend these talks on Tuesday. And overnight, state media was saying the talks weren't even going to take place. The Iranians have played these games before and then ultimately showed up at the negotiating table. But this is largely considered the last chance for the Iranians. When I spoke with the president over the weekend, he was very clear. They are going to sign on the dotted line or he's going to target their bridges and power plants. And it's a decision that Iranian officials have to make. And I'm told by regional sources today there is a divide among Iranian leadership about what to do and whether or not to call the president's bluff. But the president isn't bluffing. This is a very similar situation that we saw before Operation Epic Fury began. The United States is giving the Iranians an off-ramp here, a chance at diplomacy. And if they don't take it, the war is expected to resume.
You might want to take that off-ramp, boys. 60 Minutes. Iran still has nearly 1,000 pounds of highly enriched uranium, enough material if you enrich just a little bit more for 10 to 11 nuclear bombs. 60 Minutes reporting this now.
UN inspectors believe Iran has close to 1,000 pounds of uranium enriched to 60%, nearly ready to be used in a nuclear weapon.
970 pounds of 60% highly enriched uranium. What can you do with that?
So that is enough material for, if you enrich it just a little bit more, for 10 to 11 nuclear bombs. Iran has been lying about its nuclear weapons effort for over 20 years now. They have always claimed our program was 100% peaceful. We were never pursuing nuclear weapons. That's a lie. And then once the international inspectors got in and started finding some things out, the Iranians kept lying to them.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have been lying. JD Vance will be departing for Pakistan tomorrow for a second round of talks with Iran. 2 hotels in Islamabad already cleared for guests.
Breaking news, Pakistan's capital, Islamabad, is preparing for a possible second round of peace talks between the U.S. and Iran in that city, but it's not clear yet whether they will even take place. The 2 main hotels in Islamabad's so-called red zone have been vacated of guests in anticipation of the delegation's arrival. Sources now telling CNN the Vice President JD Vance is expected to depart for Pakistan tomorrow. But Iran's foreign ministry insisted earlier there are still no plans for negotiations at this point.
Iran still playing games. John Fetterman, though, he is still pushing back on his own party over the war in Iran. Fox News was able to catch up with him.
I've been the only Democrat that has supported Epic Fury. And now we're 48 days into it, and none of this has been illegal. Every single president in those 47 years have effectively dealt with the Iranian nuclear problem.
John Fetterman breaking ranks. The president posting this on Truth Social, talking about Israel. Israel never talked me into the war with Iran. That's what people have been saying for a while. The results of October 7th added to my lifelong opinion that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. That's what did it. I watch and read the fake news pundits and polls and told disbelief. 90% of what they say are lies and made up stories. And the polls are rigged, much as the 2020 presidential election was rigged. Just like the results in Venezuela, which the media doesn't like talking about, the results in Iran will be amazing. And if Iran's new leaders, regime change, are smart, Iran can have a great and prosperous future. President Donald J. Trump. And then came the message that blew the spin apart. President Trump said Israel didn't talk him into war with Iran. You saw it. He made clear that the evil unleashed after October 7th, combined with his long-held belief, brought him to the same conclusion he's had for years. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. That's the whole story right there. It's not random. It's not reckless. It's disciplined America First strategy. Trump's giving Iran a final off-ramp, but he also is making clear that if the regime refuses reality, the United States has the power and the will to end the threat. And that is what real American leadership looks like. And just to make the left even more furious, you saw it, Fetterman on Fox admitted he supported the operation that 48 days in alone, none of it has been illegal. That's game, set, match. The panic you're seeing from the media class, it's not about law. It's about losing control of the narrative while President Trump controls events. He's doing what weak politicians refuse to do, forcing the regime in Tehran to choose between survival and destruction. So here's the bottom line. Trump built the pressure. Vance is ready to close the deal. The U.S. military is standing behind every word. Iran now has a choice, and for the sake of peace, let's hope it chooses wisely. So my question, do you believe Iran will cave and sign the deal, yes or no? Comment below and share this report everywhere. Subscribe if you have not, and text raw feed to 844-840-4963 to beat the algorithm and get direct alerts to your phone. And check out the Next News merch shelf below this video, because America's back and the world knows it.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.